Hi, I'm April Meeker with Second Sister Jewelry, and today on Embellish I have one of my best friends in the world, Margie Romney-Aslett, joining me. Margie's been in the crafting industry forever. Long time.
I'm old. I've been here a while. Yeah.
She has, right now you have a company with your daughters, the Girls Loft. It's a kit club.
Right.
You worked making memories forever. Then you went on to have your own line of paper with the Girls Paperie.
Yep.
Traveled the world. She travels the world teaching. Every time I call her, she's like, "Well, I got to go to South Africa next week, but I can." You go everywhere.
Not that much, but I have done some travel.
She teaches a lot. People love Margie's classes because you're so fun.
It's a lot of fun.
So you can check out what you're up to on your blog.
Right.
Margie Romney-Aslett. Okay, so today, Margie, I know this seemed like a Margie project because you like jewelry.
I love jewelry. I love jewelry.
This is a project where you're going to repurpose, reuse, recycle, which is huge right now. We are making repurposed leather cuff bracelets, and leather is kind of, for the general crafter, maybe not the easiest thing to find. They do have some, I noticed, in the craft store, but it's very limited in your color choices.
Or quality.
Quality and thick, and how thick it is. But everybody has old belts.
Sure.
In their closet that either they've grown out of, their kids have grown out of. They're really old supple belts make really good cuff bracelets.
Love that.
You just want to make sure that it is real leather if you're going to use it, because fake leather will crack and it's just not. It's not cute. Anyway, so we have an old belt that was my brother's.
We just cut off the end.
We've cut off the end. You can use this part of the belt with the holes.
I like that part too.
You could totally design, like, stringing beads in between these. I mean, they're pre-cut holes in there.
You could sew buttons through.
You could totally do something with that. But for today's purpose, we cut that off. And so what you're going to do is you're going to see how big your wrist is. Most bracelets are 7.5 to 8.5 inches.
Right.
That's a general rules. But since you're making it, you can totally customize it to your own wrist.
That's a beautiful thing for me.
Yes. So let's go ahead, and what I use to cut on in my own home is a self-healing craft mat. And this is a rotary cutter, like what you would use in sewing,
cutting patterns,
quilting.
Sure.
Quilting has really good ones.
Yeah.
So you're going to cut off a length that is the length, the size of your wrist, plus some space for overlap for your
I'm
closure.
going to go about 9.5 because I don't have the smallest wrist, so I'm gonna go there.
Okay. And it's that easy. You have your piece.
Yeah.
And then, just like with everything that we do here on Embellish, when you design your piece, you want to design it in your head from start to finish before you begin the project, because you can get yourself into a pickle if you try and do it along the way, and then you have to go back and jimmy rig.
Right.
And I've done plenty of that in my day.
Yeah, do it. Design it out first.
Design it out. Get all of your tools and your components that you're going to need. So you're going to think about your closure, how you want to close that off, and you have so many options. Let's switch to this super fun green leather that I just like the color.
Love the color.
Love the color of that apple green. One of my favorite closures that's out there right now is this. They're put out by Tandy Leather, and they're just this little ball, like hitch.
It looks like a hitch from a
boat hitch. Yeah.
That's what's cool.
And it comes with a screw back. And that's put out by Tandy Leather. And it comes in both this gold finish and a kind of a chrome silver finish. And this, to me, is the easiest way to do a closure.
Right.
So what you're going to do is you're going to punch a hole in your leather. We're using memory. We are Memory Keepers, Crocodile.
The best tool ever.
Which we all love. We all love that tool.
I use this for everything.
Love it.
Okay, so I'm going to use the big side.
The big side.
It's two-sided. So I've already punched a hole here. So I'm going to take the back of this little
I don't even know what they're. Let's see if it says on here what it's called. Button stud.
Okay.
That's what they're called.
Stud. The back side just pulls through, and it's like a screw, and you just screw it on. If that's not the easiest thing in the world, I don't know what would be.
That's it. That's all you do.
That's brilliant.
You've got your hardware on
Hello.
there. Then you have to punch a hole for it on the other side.
Right, okay.
So, you would measure it to your wrist. However, you can see where you want your button to be.
Okay, and I'm going to go in about the same exact size as I did before on the other side, about 1/4 inch. Get rid of
There
my
you
tool.
go.
There you
so
go.
that hole still isn't going to be quite big enough, right?
Big, yep.
So take your little skizzers
Okay.
and cut a slit.
Okay.
So it gives you a little more. Your leather is not going to rip. So you can cut about a 2mm strip, and I always do the slit going towards the inside of the bracelet.
Okay, just like that?
Yep, just like that.
Perfect.
Voila.
Gosh, that's easy.
That's
brilliant.
I'm doing a lot of bracelets with that closure these days because it's just, and it's cute. It's just a little knob right there.
Well, you know what? It looks like fun hardware, so that's fun.
Yeah. So you have other options though. Tandy leather, if you're using a thinner strip, Tandy leather also does these little buckle clasps.
That's cute.
And then you could also do it similar to this with a button. That's a Indian head button, just a reproduction, which I love those. And twine, or this is a little bit of leather, which I've looped through.
The thing that's great about this loop through one is that if you give this a gift, they have a couple. You know, they have a couple of options. If you have a really tiny wrist, you can use this end, and then you've got a second extra half an inch.
Yeah, totally.
I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty. That makes it pretty versatile. If you're giving
that's great.
You could even leave it untied, and they could tie it.
That's great.
However they wanted. And then this super fun one that I'm working on is. I actually sewed a fun leather or fun fabric.
That's cute.
On the back, and then I just use these little
Making memories eyelets.
Yeah, colors, and they come in the cutest colors.
Yeah,
and
old school.
my plan is to just put a piece of ribbon through the back, so that will lay.
So when you sewed it, did you use a special needle, like a denim one?
I use my regular sewing machine.
Wow.
This is not that tough of
Well,
leather.
leather is soft.
I did have to kind of, but you know what?
And maybe a denim needle might be good.
A denim needle would probably be better if you were smart. Okay, your other option is always just the snap. I made this for my little daughter, little tiny.
Emily, it's adorable.
A little to do snaps, and those are also put out by Tandy Leather.
And are those hard to do? Because that, to me, I look at that and I think, ooh, that's a lot harder than the screw thing.
It's a lot harder than a screw thing.
Yeah.
It is, but
That's cool.
not a lot. It's not a lot harder. Once you get down how to do them.
Okay.
You know, it's like setting rivets.
I love the pink leather.
Yeah. So now's the fun part, and you get to embellish.
Yeah, that's my favorite part for sure.
Yeah, and the sky's the limit.
Yeah, you've gotten some really fun options here. I love this little vintage filigree. That's adorable. How would I adhere that?
You could punch a hole in the center and use. You could actually rivet it on there.
Okay.
You could rivet it. You could. I wouldn't glue it on.
Not that one.
Not this big of a piece.
Yeah.
You might lose it. You could punch smaller holes and use some nylon thread and kind of thread around in through the holes.
Okay. And then what about these little screws?
These little screws, these are amazing. They're these little teeny jewelry screws that are available. I'll show you. They are just teeny, teeny, tiny.
That's so
They come
amazing.
like this, and they have a nut that goes on the back. So if you have a hole, now that hole's too big, but say you were putting on a plaque of, like I do a lot of bracelets that are stamped.
Yeah.
They say words on them, and I drill Dremel holes on either side. And then this will fit right down through that Dremel hole.
And you know what? Even the top of that's fun. It's kind of an industrial look. I like that.
it's that look that's popular right now.
Yeah.
And then it has a nut that screws on the back. You can clip the back of that off and sand it off so it's smooth, flush with your leather.
Perfect.
And
I, of course, would go for something vintage.
of course you would.
So these pieces, I think, are amazing. I would go into my grandmother's jewelry box and do a little robbing. Take an earring that didn't have a mate, or maybe both earrings and put them one here and one here.
With a centerpiece.
So I absolutely love the
And other
vintage.
fun places to get them. You can still get, eBay is still a great way to buy, and they usually sell them in lots. So you kind of get like this hodgepodge of stuff, and yard selling.
You know, I have
selling.
gotten some great stuff at yard sales and thrift stores, and you know, there's always, like you said, usually that you get a little bag of junk, but there's a few treasures.
There's a few treasures, and you can find, just whatever, and it doesn't even need to be bling. You could leave it plain.
Sure.
Like I said, you could put a stamped metal plaque on there. You could I've even punched holes with my crocodile and threaded a design with the colored thread through there.
Or leather.
It's really, really a versatile
You could do a million things with this.
You could do a million things.
This is
Totally
my girls would love
personalize it.
these. The girls would absolutely love these.
It's a fun thing to get together and like have a girls' night, and everybody bring their junk that they want to turn into repurpose, reuse, recycle.
Love that.
So thanks so much for joining us today on Embellish. Thanks you, Margie, for being here. And join us next week. We'll have more inspirational jewelry designs for you.